The most competitive motorsport series on the planet is back. Welcome to the 7th season of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship and the Diriyah E-Prix. We're just north of the Saudi Arabian capital of Riyadh for the opening round of this year's impossible to predict title race. And we're on a pulsating roller coaster ride of a track around the UNESCO World Heritage Site that was once one of the major cities in Arabia in the 18th century. Now, over 200 years later, it's some of the world's most technologically advanced race cars that are under the spotlight. Robin Freitz will start at the back after an accident. Muller, Blomqvist and Cassidy all picked up penalties for improving under yellow flags. Sergio Sette Camara starts 20th on the grid for the Dragon team. The two DS Techeetahs are in 19th and 18th after going out in the first group of qualifying. The same true for Sebastian Buemi, Lucas de Grassi and Stoffel van Dorn. Watch for that sextet making their way up the order. Jake Dennis, in his debut race, starts in 14th on the grid. Oliver Turvey is 13th for the Neo 333 team. Norman Nato is 12th and Alexander Sims is in 11th. Now we move into the top 10. 10th on the grid, Oliver Rowland. The British driver, mightily impressive in qualifying as he had the worst track conditions, but still manages to start inside the top 10. He's going to be chasing Max Gunter. The BMW I Andretti Motorsports driver won 2 races last season, stood on the podium here last year, only for it to be taken away thanks to a penalty. The biggest transfer news in Formula E history, Sam Bird has joined Jaguar. The only driver to win a race in every Formula E season lines up 8th in his first race for his new team. The iconic manufacturers continue in 7th place, with veteran Andre Lotterer driving for Tag Heuer Porsche. He finished 2nd here last season and would love a repeat performance. Mitch Evans hit the wall on his Superpole lap, so the Kiwi could only manage 6th on the grid in the 2nd Jaguar. It's the same position he started the last race here, a race which ended in the wall after a collision with his new teammate. 5th is Alex Lynn, who impressed for Mahindra. They've hired him full-time for season 7. A strong qualifying performance has already validated that. And on the front 2 rows, Eduardo Mortara will start 4th for Rocket Venturi Racing. 3rd is Rene Rast, entering his first full season in Formula E with the Audi Sport App Schaeffler team, a triple German touring car champion, and he wants to add Formula E to his impressive collection. 2nd is Pascal Wehrlein in the battle of the German powerhouses at the front that is headed by a huge 0.6 of a second by Nyck de Vries. The 26-year-old Dutchman secured the first pole of his Formula E career at the start of only his 2nd season. Mercedes have the qualifying pace, but can they convert it in the race as we get ready to light up Diriyah at the opening round of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Hashtag Diriyah E-Prix if you want to get in touch over the next 45 minutes plus 1 lap. My name is Jack Nichols and I'm joined by the legend that is the 3-time Indianapolis 500 winner, 4-time IndyCar champion, Dario Franchitti, to cover what is one of the most unpredictable races that I think we're going to see in a while.
Yeah, the tension is mounting, isn't it? The drivers always have those first race sort of nerves, I guess. Put the thing under the lights, first night race for Formula E. So many unknowns. And I'm fascinated to see who's going to be aggressive at the start, who's going to sort of lay back a bit and look at this as a 45-minute race, who's going to try and make those immediate moves. Get ready.
Actually, speaking to a couple of the drivers on the grid, one driver in particular, I won't name names because that's not fair, but I said, you know, how are you feeling? He said, pretty nervous actually. Pretty nervous because this is a big, big race. This can set up your championship season. This can really set you on a good path for the remainder of the year. And I guess it goes either way. If you have a good race, it can set you up for the year. If you have a bad race, oh, it's only one race.
But points now pay the same as points paid in the last round of the season, so it is important, and that consistency we've talked about is very important. And tomorrow, and we see Muller in the pit lane. As soon as that goes green when the race starts, he'll get back out there. But as soon as you've got to start earning points straight away. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Absolutely. Nico Muller, not sure why he's starting from the pits. We'll try and find out. It might just be a tactical decision. Sometimes the team do that to avoid the carnage at turn 1, save some extra energy so you're not in the race off the line and play the long game. Maybe that's what Dragon are doing.
Interestingly, we've talked about it's a night race, clearly, but so there's no sun on the asphalt. The tyres will take longer to heat up, so this from the run from pretty much turn 21 all the way around. The race starts in turn 18, between 17 and 18. The guys are going to be using every second they can to generate heat through the brakes into the tyres. to get them off the line as quickly as possible, and also get them stopped for turn 18 on which is the first corner.
So we start again from scratch. Reigning champions, Antonio Felix da Costa and Jean-Eric Vergne. Da Costa champion last year, Vergne the champion 2 years previous, lineup 18th and 19th on the grid. And now we have new contenders at the front. Nyck de Vries with his first pole position. Pascal Wehrlein in his first race for Porsche, who were on board with there, lining up in second place. Then we've got the Audi of Rene Rast in third position. Mitch Evans in the Jaguar will slot into sixth spot. And there you can see all of the cars lining up, just doing those last few burnouts to try and get some temperature into the tyres on a fairly chilly night in Diriyah.
You are wearing your thermals, Jack.
Yeah.
But yeah, every bit of temperature you can get in is so important. And these guys have got set lists they run through and how they heat those tyres up. So now sit there and the nerves really build as you're waiting for the lights to start changing.
45 minutes plus 1 lap of racing coming up. We've got attack mode, we've got fan boost, we've got energy management. We'll take you through all of that as the race unfolds. But for the first lap or so, it's just a battle for position. It's a fight for first, and that battle is being headed on the bottom right there by Nyck de Vries in the silver Mercedes-Benz EQ car. Alongside him on the front row is Pascal Wehrlein in the Porsche. Once the last car, Robin Freitz, lines up in position, we will be getting the action underway. Another race coming up tomorrow night as well, but this is the first race of a brand new ABB FIA Formula E World Championship season. De Vries on pole, Wehrlein alongside him on the front row of the grid. Rast and Mortara are on the second row, Lynn and Evans behind them. And we go green under the lights. Not a good start for Wehrlein, a lot of wheel spin. That could give Rast an opportunity on the right-hand side in the 33 car to get up into second place, and Wehrlein locks up. He manages to make the corner. The other Porsche of Andre Lotterer goes in a little bit deep. Everybody safely through the first corner, and Nyck de Vries has got a great start. Wehrlein's mistake has helped him sprint clear up at the front. There's an attack from Mitch Evans, trying to go side by side with Alex Lynn. Just about give each other enough room. They're now going to be side by side down towards turn 1. That's the timing line at the back there. Lock up behind from Max Gunter as he tries to get involved in the fight, but Nyck de Vries holds the lead. Pascal Wehrlein in second, Rast in third, Mortara fourth, Evans fifth, Lynn in sixth. So Mitch Evans, the only driver to gain a place in the top group of cars on that opening run. He's already under pressure from the red, white and blue Mahindra of Alex Lynn as they come down this bobsleigh run-like sequence of corners. Dario.
This is the point, you can't get too excited with trying to make passes because the car is already starting to nag you. It's making noises telling you when to start saving energy. The battery's full, so there's not too much room to put energy back into the battery yet with regeneration. But the car, as soon as there is any room in that battery, it's telling you, start saving energy, start regenerating. You've really got to pay attention to that if you want to be there at the end of 45 minutes plus a lap. You can't be just quick for one lap, Jack.
Up into the chicane they come. Nyck de Vries leading the way in the silver Mercedes. The black and white Porsche behind is Pascal Wehrlein. Then there's a bit of a gap back to Rast, Mortara, Evans, Lynn. There's Bird. He is fighting with Andre Lotterer, defending. He's in the blue and grey Jaguar at the moment. And there is third, fourth and fifth. Now coming down to the final corner at turn 21 and out across the line, Nyck de Vries has a 1.1 second lead up at the front of this E-Prix. Wehrlein second, Rast third, Mortara fourth, Evans fifth. Now Vergne is in 18th place and da Costa is 20th, so not a great start really for the two DS Tachitas. There is Nyck de Vries though, the race leader in these early laps.
Nyck de Vries setting still, as we've talked about, he's so quick all event really, last night, today. These guys a little further behind, they're getting the benefit of the slipstream though, and Formula E's become so much about tiny increments of gain. They're talking about slipstreaming other cars to gain as much energy as possible in that first half of the race, and then being able to attack later on as the race goes on.
42.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Through the right-hander of turn 16 and 17 they come. This is Alex Lynn. He is attacking Mitch Evans as they come up towards the chicane. Really impressive stuff from Lynn, and he was really positive on the grid when we spoke to him, because last year the race pace was the tricky part. There goes Bird up the inside of Gunter. Bird takes 7th position in that blue and grey Jaguar, and Gunter in the blue and white BMW, now under pressure from Andre Lotterer as they come down into the final corner at 21.
This is where Lynn's got a decision to make. He's getting a lovely slipstream from Mitch Evans, but Sam Bird's coming up behind him in a hurry, and Sam Bird is one of the best overtakers in the business. So if I'm Alex Lynn, I'm probably going to think about trying to pass Mitch Evans pretty quick here and get up onto the back of the gearbox of Eder Mortara ahead.
Sergio Sette Camera is serving a drive-through penalty for not respecting the instruction manual from an FIA supplier. So not exactly sure what that is, but he served his drive-through penalty and he's now at the back of the field.
That's a new one on me.
Yeah, absolutely. De Vries leading, Wehrlein second. Here they come. Then you've got the little gap back to Rast and Mortara. And Mortara actually is holding his own at the moment in 4th position. But Nyck de Vries is the man leading the way in these early stages. And it was a battery cooling issue before the race for Sergio Sette Camera. That's what he's been given the penalty for. Now look on the left, usable energy remaining. And it looked as though De Vries had a little bit of an advantage over Pascal Wehrlein in these very early stages. 41 minutes plus a lap to go. And it's the silver Mercedes of Nyck de Vries that actually has been caught by the black and white Porsche of Pascal Wehrlein. Rast in 3rd place there has just set the Tag Heuer fastest lap of the race so far.
The tyre pressures are going to start coming into the window, and different cars are going to come into to balance at different points in the race, and it's really taking advantage when the car feels right. It means you can obviously go quicker down a section like this, one corner straight after the other, but you can also regenerate further into the corner, and you can use less braking, so you're regenerating energy and you're not using it. It's turn 14, the right-hander. Now it's a subtle climb up through 15, then 16, 17, then there's a really steep hill out of 17. You've really got to get that corner right, otherwise this speed just bleeds away, and that straight leads to the heavy braking zone of turn 18. Rene Rast had a big slide through the middle of 17.
40 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Here's De Vries and Wehrlein. Wehrlein sitting in behind, and then you've got a little look to the inside from Alex Lynn, because he has now been joined, as you predicted, by Sam Bird in the Jaguar. But there is Nyck de Vries leading the way. 40 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and it's De Vries leading. Second is Wehrlein, the two right together. Rast all by himself at the moment, then Mortara, then it is Evans, Lynn, Bird, then a gap to Gunter, Lotterer, Sims, Roland in 11th place, so he's lost out at the start. Turvey's running quite well in the Neo in 12th position, and then it's the two Envision Virgin racing cars who are running in 21st and 22nd position at the moment. It's the two Dragons that are at the back as it stands. Two race leaders, De Vries and Wehrlein. And that's what we're talking about with regards to the slipstreaming. It's changed in Formula E, hasn't it? I was speaking to an engineer who's saying now you don't want to be leading the race.
No. And do you remember those early races that we crossed the line with sort of 2% energy left and go, whoa, they cut that close. Yeah. Now they're talking 0.2, 0.1. It's incredible. Actually, Mitch Evans protecting the inside into turn 18. Just doesn't want Alex, and a little bump from Alex Lynn. He doesn't want Lynn surprising him in that last stage of braking as he lifts and coasts, tries to save some energy. Look how much quicker Lynn is on that late part of braking into the apex.
Now I'm over-consuming.
So Nyck de Vries saying, now I'm over-consuming. His gap is 0.8 of a second to Pascal Wehrlein in 2nd spot, but this is where it's going to get busy in a minute. Alex Lynn in a bit of a Jaguar sandwich. Attack mode activation, by the way, is open. It has to be used 2 times during the race. Each attack mode lasts 4 minutes, and they get a 35 kilowatt power boost for 4 minutes twice during the course of the race. So how you decide to use that is going to be fascinating, and whether these guys that are in a really close battle decide to do that will be fascinating.
Yeah, and the advantage that we've seen here last year, the advantage was taking it early, but the attack mode activation zone is so dusty. As Lynn gets very close to Mitch Evans, it's so dusty that the guys that take it early, they're going to lose more time, but then they have the undercut when the car in front or behind them takes that. So this is going to be fascinating. It was such a big strategic part of the Formula E races last season, more than we've ever seen before.
Okay, think about the slipstream. Do not over discharge in turn 18, 16 and 18. Careful not to over discharge.
So that is Cyril Blythe, Alex Lynn's race engineer, just saying, careful of the slipstream and careful not to over discharge.
The voice of God. Do what you're told. A lot of these engineers are quite fierce looking as well, and they really take the drivers to task. But it's a team effort if you want to win. The driver workload is such. Look, they're inches apart, and they're having to do all these different adjustments to the car, regenerate, keep an eye on the energy. The car is beeping and bopping and making all these noises in your ear because an audible signal is easier than a visual one. So the drivers are dealing with all that, and they're trying to beat 23 other drivers.
Here's race leader, Nyck de Vries. Now, the gap was 0.8 of a second last time I said it. It's now gone up to 1.4 seconds so far, and Rast, in fact, has come to the back of Pascal Wehrlein to just half a second or so. So that gap is continuing to move around, but the queue behind Eduardo Mortara is a big one, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's starting to grow, isn't it? And I have to say that Mahindra, the balance looks very good through 16 and 17 at the moment. The Jaguar is a little bit more oversteery. The trick at this point is, I guess, not to panic. You're only not quite 10 minutes into the race yet. There's a long way to go. So yeah, Tom Blomqvist, car 88 drive-through penalty for overpower during regen. You're allowed 250 kilowatts maximum of regeneration in the braking zone. Because the track is so grippy here, you can maximize that regeneration quite a lot and get the full 250 kilowatts of regeneration. If the track grip was less, the drivers wouldn't be able to get quite that much regeneration.
Tom Blomqvist, as you say, serving his drive-through penalty now. That means Cassidy and Freintz, who are the two Envision Virgin cars, up to 20th and 21st place. They both had to start near the back, despite having a fair amount of pace in qualifying. But here is the battle over 4th position. And the second Jaguar in this queue is Sam Bird, making his first appearance for the team. And he's there or thereabouts with Mitch Evans, and that's something that Jaguar, here's his radio.
Great lap, Sam. Stay focused. Good.
Phil Ingram, his new race engineer, telling him it's another great lap. Stay focused. He's sitting right behind Alex Lynn, who was his teammate for a year or so in the Envision Virgin team, and it's a late move over. Bird's on the dust. Bird gets past. That's a fist pump from the Jaguar team director, James Barkley. And Bird is up into 5th position now, and they'll try and start dropping the Mahindra. But Evans isn't making a huge amount of progress on Eduardo Mortara at the moment. But as we've discussed before, do you want to be the driver leading this queue? The other thing is, they're some 3 seconds behind the top 3, but does that matter? Because we could get a safety car at any point. We could get a full course yellow at any point. Here's Max Gunter in the middle of the pack, running in 8th place, and this is his driver's eye, Dario.
And this really is a driver's eye, Jack. This is camera is right next to his left eyeball, so you see exactly what he sees. Watch how much his head moves around. He's looking at the apexes in some shadow as he comes down to turn 14. He's coming out at 14. We see a bunch of people hit the wall there through the kink in 15. He's going to be looking down with all that information on the dashboard. Keeping it tight through 16, back to the throttle in 17 as we go back to Nyck de Vries leading the field. And Pascal Wehrlein is under some pressure from Rene Rast at the moment.
The two Germans in the two German brands fighting it out as they come up to the chicane. There's attack mode. None of the front runners have taken attack mode. Antonio Felix da Costa has taken attack mode in the Tachita.
Mortara behind is closing the gap a bit. If Wehrlein is too slow and you feel quicker, you can try to overtake.
Felix Fechner being told, if you think you can go quicker and this pace is too slow, you can try to overtake. So that's either sit in the slipstream if you want, but also overtake if you want. So quite a lot of freedom then for Rene Rast, who's running in 3rd position at the moment behind de Vries and Wehrlein.
I have to say, the engineer was very polite in the way he asked that. Most of my engineers would not be that polite about how they told me what to, or suggested what to do.
Oliver Rowland has taken attack mode then. Now, he was very quick in qualifying, was Rowland. Only started in 10th place because he was out in the first group, but he was the fastest qualifier of the first group. There you can see the last 3 lap times for Rast and Wehrlein, and he goes to the outside of the chicane, snatches the right front, but gets it done round the outside. And smart thinking from Wehrlein, he activates his attack mode and gets out just in front of Mortara. That was very, very clever stuff from the German, but Rast now is up into 2nd place. So the other man who took attack mode is Nyck de Vries. So Nyck de Vries, the race leader, in his first attack mode now. Rast and Wehrlein in 2nd and 3rd. Wehrlein is in attack mode. Mortara, Evans, Bird, Lynn, Gunter, Lotterer and Sims, the rest of the top 10. Interesting stuff playing out.
Yeah, and that strategy of when to use the attack mode is playing out already. I wonder if there's a little bit of strategy going on with the Jaguars. We see Rene Rast make this move again. Look, Watch the defence from Pascal Wehrlein. Rast just to the outside. Execute. So these guys would have had some battles in DTM, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they're reliving them today. But lovely move, Rene Rast. Let's see how much he can close the gap to Nyck de Vries.
There's a look at the overtake, and there you see de Vries going through the attack mode activation in front. So while the leader's going through, the battle for second place is going side by side as we swing back around and just gets out in front of Eduardo Mortara. Now, here we've got a battle between Lynn and Bird again. So Bird got past Lynn, now Lynn's going back past Bird. In the background, Roland is trying to pass Sims for 10th position. He's managed to do it. So very good move from Oliver Roland to get ahead of Alexander Sims and up into 10th place. Lynn is back up into 6th position. De Vries is still in attack mode out in front. It's all starting to kick off. Nyck de Vries leading the Diriyah E-Prix by a comfortable 2 seconds at the moment over Rene Rast in second position. Pascal Wehrlein in third. There is de Vries, the race leader, in his first attack mode at the moment, and he is disappearing up the road, Dario Franchitti.
Jack, he's so quick down the hill. He's so quick everywhere. It's particularly down this hill. It's 9 corner segment. One corner after the other after the other. He's just driving away. He's just in such a good rhythm with that car. And Rene Rast is going to have his work cut out to catch him at all, because the pace is such that, I mean, the gap, 1.7 seconds, it's going to be tough to close up. Good sign from Alex Lynn, repassing Sam Bird. That shows that he's confident in the pace of the car, and he's going to try and close the gap to the other Jaguar of Mitch Evans in front of him.
There's de Vries and Rast. Now, here's Wehrlein, Mortara and Evans. The 3 drivers running in 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment. Wehrlein is in attack mode at the moment, but out in front, it's Nyck de Vries through the final corner, and his advantage over Rene Rast in the Audi in second place is 2 seconds. Then it's 2 seconds back to the black and white Porsche of Wehrlein, then Mortara and Evans, and then there is Alex Lynn in the red, white and blue Mahindra running in 6th position at the moment. It's all fairly calm at the moment, some good fighting out there. The Diesta Cheetahs have got up to only 17th and 18th, so not making a huge amount of progress. Roland is coming to the end of his first attack mode, and then you've got 11th through 16th, all in their first attack mode of the race so far.
The hard thing about attack mode is it doesn't give you any more energy for the battery.
Yeah.
It gives you more power, but more power takes more energy, so you've got to be very careful when you use it and how hard you use it as well. It'd be easy to use it and blast up the road, but quite frankly, you're not going to have enough energy to finish the race, and no matter how much you can regenerate, you're just not going to make it happen. We see team principal Susie Wolf from the Rocket Venturi team.
So we push until T18 attack mode now.
Delta.
Okay, so Mortara.
When he says Delta, he wants the difference between the car behind and the car behind has just become the car in front.
So Mortara activates his attack mode, so he now drops down to 5th position, drops behind Mitch Evans. Evans yet to take his first attack mode.
He was quite far ahead of Mitch Evans, so it is quite a big delta when you use attack mode. And the teams will know that, because the first thing they did yesterday in Shakedown was go through attack mode, and the first thing they did in free practice again through attack mode. How much slower is it? But it just looks like a lot of the guys can't make the gap to the car behind them, so they're definitely losing places. On board with Mitch Evans down the hill through the compression. Again, you hear him lifting and coasting a bit, trying to save some energy, but carrying as much speed as possible through the corners. Easy to save energy, but it's not easy to do it and go fast.
Just to finish the Nico Muller story from earlier on, he started from the pits. The team decided they wanted a bit more time to fix the car, basically, and it didn't really matter whether he started from the pits or 23rd position. So that's what happened with Nico Muller. He's now in 22nd position. Him, Blomqvist, Sede Camera, all really praying for a safety at the moment. But here's the 3rd place battle. Wehrlein has dropped well back from Rene Rast. Rene Rast has disappeared up the road. Now, of course, Wehrlein did activate his attack mode, and having said that, Rast has just activated his attack mode now, so the gap may well change between the two of them. Indeed, it's back down to 1.6 seconds, but Rast in attack mode. That 3rd, 4th, 5th battle is the tight one. Can Mortara gain back the positions that he lost?
So we're 14 laps in. I think the race is going to be somewhere in the 38, 39 lap length today. It's a lot quicker than last year's race, because the track is quicker. That way, because it's a timed race, it's going to be a longer race as well. Obviously, that depends on the safety cars too.
Yeah, indeed. 27 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. In the last 3 laps, there you can see the the comparisons, and Evans 4/10 quicker than Wehrlein on the last lap. Mortara was a 10th quicker than Wehrlein as well. Here is Mortara now. He needs to make use of his attack mode. He's got the blue flashing halo. He's got 235 kilowatts of power as opposed to 200 of Mitch Evans, and that should pay dividends here on the straight. He pulls to the right-hand side, pulls ahead of Evans. Is he going to try and get the Jaguar as well? It's 3 wide as they come down into the corner, and Evans is taking Wehrlein too. They go side by side. Evans gets ahead of Pascal Wehrlein. Really good racing from, well, all of them, but also Mortara takes 2 places, Evans gets 1.
It's fairly ambitious by Mortara, but that's what an extra 17.5% of power does for you. That's what he had there. And you see Lynn now on the back of Wehrlein, how quickly things change. Pascal Wehrlein was all over the back of the leader a handful of laps ago.
Now Bird has joined this fight. We're on board with him, behind Alex Lynn, in driver's eye as we start the bobsleigh run, dropping down the hill in the desert. Right, left, team radio.
Energy management really strong. This will come to us.
Phil Ingram saying your energy management's really strong. This is going to come to us.
You have to say the car looks better than yesterday for Sam Bird. We were on board with Sam Bird yesterday. He was correcting all the way down the hill to see Edu Mortara from a fantastic view. So you think, yeah, okay, Mitch Evans got him, yeah, looking good. But that cutback, that was so close to disaster.
Oh my good, that was actually really... That's the kind of thing you always think about doing on the motorway, but never do.
Do you?
I never do it. I never
even think about it, Jack.
No, but you know what I mean? You go, oh, I'll get him and I'll get him as well.
No, I don't even think about doing that on the track. That was mighty from Mortara. That was so easy. There you see the reaction from the team principal, Susie Wolf, deputy team principal, Jerome D'Ambrosio. Yeah, that was centimetres, millimetres from disaster.
That was, I think that's one of my favourite overtakes in Formula E, and Sam Bird goes to the inside, Lynn puts him in the wall. The two go backwards, and they're both going to be pretty much out of the race. That might be our first safety car, and Sam Bird, I think, told him something with his hands there, and they're both going to be pretty annoyed at each other, but I think Lynn closed the door, to be perfectly honest with you. Now Sam is going to reverse. He's managed to get off of Alex Lynn and get back to the pits. They're both going to get back. I think we'll still need something to clear a bit of debris, whether that's a full safety car. Oh, and Lynn's pulling over. He's got too much damage.
Left front is completely broken, the tie rod on the left front.
So that might be our safety car, the first safety car of the race. Lynn frustrated, he was running well. Bird's going to come in for a new nose, but we'll see whether we get a safety car deployed. Look how close Rene Rast is to Nyck de Vries. Rast is in attack mode. They've both had one attack mode, so this is working out really well for Rast. He is in net. This is a real gap between them as they come across the line now. They're going to have to slow down for this yellow flag at the first corner because Lynn's car is parked up, but wow.
That's going to be a safety car, I think, Jack. And if you're in an energy hole right now, the last thing you need is a safety car because they take energy away during safety car and you've got no chance to regenerate it. So this widens the gap between the haves and the have-nots and the energy stakes.
So here's a look at the replay. Lynn covers the inside, Bird dummies him, and then...
Yeah, that wasn't a great move by Alex. It was a very late defence.
Yeah, and then there was the contact, and then they went into the wall. Because Bird had nowhere to go at that point.
No, Bird was committed, and then it becomes a point of two hard-headed guys going for the same part of the track.
This is on board with Bird, so he goes to the outside. Lynn goes to the outside. Bird goes back to the inside, and then nowhere to go. And then what are you doing?
Yeah, when you watch it in real time, it's a little bit different. But yeah, that was
safety car deployed. Safety car deployed. So that means that Nyck de Vries' advantage over Rast, which was basically nothing, is going to be actually nothing. With 23 minutes plus 1 lap to go, the race getting neutralized, and it's going to be very, very interesting. So, rest direction there, calling the safety car, the only real option with debris on the track and a car on the track. Hopefully we can get action battle, and there's a bit more of Sam Bird's car further round. I think he's still not happy with the car, Sam Bird, despite changing that nose.
Yeah, I think there's some suspension damage, and if you're wondering why Alex Lynn's still sitting in the car, he has to wait for permission from race control to get out of the car.
Yeah. 22 minutes and 20 seconds to go. There's a superb look at the the downhill bobsleigh run towards the bottom of the hill. Nyck de Vries in first place. There is the BMW safety car, their new no-roofed safety car, which they introduced last year. And it is going to lead the field around. It's the closest that a BMW is getting at the moment to the front of this race, because Max Gunter's running in 6th position. Now, there will also be an energy reduction. So when they spend time behind the safety car, they then reduce the amount of energy available. The same to everyone, and to basically keep it so that it doesn't become a flat-out race once the safety car comes in. So it's still going to be a challenge and a test for these drivers in the closing laps. This is good news for the likes of Evans, I would say, because he's been brought back into the fight. Mortara's been brought back into the fight. Ultimately, the person it sounded like who would benefit most from it was Sam Bird, because the team was saying you're looking really good on energy, but he is not out of the race. He's still there in 23rd place. He might retire, I believe, depending on how the car feels. But look at this. This is the order. De Vries, Rene Rast in 2nd. 3rd is the white and black car of Mortara. Then it is Evans. Then it is Wehrlein. Then it's the blue and white BMW of Gunter. Then it is Roland. Then it is Porsche of Lotterer. Then it is Sims. Then it's de Grassi. Then it's Van Dorn. Then it's Turvey. Then it's Buemi. Then it is Norman Nato. Reigning champion Antonio Felix da Costa is down in 15th position at the moment, and that's a trouble for him, but we're under safety car conditions because of the crash for Sam Bird and Alex Lynn, so we're all behind the BMW safety car at the moment.
Gunter and Evans have not taken that first attack mode yet, Jack, and I think that could be a tactical error for them just because of this safety car, and they're going to have to take it when the field is a lot closer to each other, so that's not ideal for them, I would say.
20 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Rast is in 2nd place. Now, he'd caught the back of Nyck de Vries, which was really, really impressive actually from the Audi driver. They're both looking for their first win in Formula E. 3rd place Eduardo Mortara in the black and white Venturi there is the driver, the first of the drivers that have a win under their belt. Same is true of Evans in 4th. Wehrlein's not won a race. Alex Lynn still in the car. He'll have been told to wait there by race control until it's safe for him to get out and for the marshals to clear the car away as the time ticks away in this first round of the season. A reminder that 24 hours from now we will have the second race, but we're currently behind the BMW I safety car with Nyck de Vries, the Dutchman, leading for Mercedes-Benz. 2nd is Rene Rast for the Audi Sport App Schaeffler team. 3rd is Eduardo Mortara for the Rocket Venturi racing team, and then Mortara and Evans are behind them. Let's go down for an update from Nikki Shields. Nikki.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I'm just here in the Jaguar Racing Garage having a quick word with James Barclay, and he was saying that they're a little bit concerned about the front left suspension and the wishbone and potentially even the tyre. So I think now they're going to just keep an eye on Sam, let him get a couple of laps in and wait for his feedback. I think he was also a little bit worried that obviously Sam is going to be feeling a little bit rattled now after the incident, so he just needs to get back into the momentum and focus on the race ahead of him.
Eyes forward, needs someone to tell him eyes forward, doesn't he? But Stephen Lane, who's done that for many years, won't be able to do it. I wonder if Phil Ingram's going to say eyes forward to Sam. I haven't actually asked that. Here's attack modes remaining on the left-hand side. As you mentioned a moment ago, Evans and Gunter have both got 2 remaining. Alexander Sims has none remaining, which, and this is where it's interesting with attack mode, on the one hand seems not great. You want more energy and more power, but on the other hand, you lose so much time. Track position is quite important. There's a replay of the incident again at sort of full racing speed, and you see Bird's gesticulations there. And here we go again, down into turn 1. Sells him the dummy. And Gunter says,
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there comes a point where with the cars there, you have to no, you can feel that, and then there's a point where you sort of have to give it up, I think. And yeah, very much the end of that.
Very much. So, frustration for James Barclay. His other car, Mitch Evans, still running in 4th place at the moment, though there he is in the blue and grey Jaguar safety car. Now, here's energy remaining. At the moment, Rast has a bit more energy than De Vries. Andy caught the back of him. Wehrlein's struggling in 5th place, 51%, the least of anyone. And Lotterer with 51% as well. So the two Porsches have the lowest in the field at the moment. Bird and Lynn, the incident there is under investigation. But we've seen a lot of great overtakes. We've seen a lot of great fighting in Formula E. We've seen it already at the start of this race. Obviously, the Bird and Lynn example wasn't great, but it means that Rene Rast has a chance of passing Nyck de Vries. If he's got more energy,
Oh, absolutely.
he's got a shot.
Of course. And I think this is the point where the aggressive drivers really get their elbows out and go for it. We're over halfway. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Won't be too long. Safety car, the BMW safety car, still out. Here they come towards turn 21. De Vries leading the way, Rast in second, and has someone just gone in the pits? Someone just gone in the pits or not? Yeah, it's
one of the
it's a
Porsches.
Porsche.
Yeah.
It's Andre Lotterer in the
There's
Porsche.
another car behind him, I think.
He's just come into the pits. Here's a replay of Eduardo Mortara's overtake, though. This is more luck than judgment, isn't it? I love Edo, but
I thought this gap was closing in a hurry. Oh yeah, I mean that was nearly massive. 3 out, but he made it. More power to him.
yeah. Well, he did have more power. He's in attack mode. This is it on board. Safety car will be in this lap, slicing through.
That gap was closing quickly.
I think that might be move of Formula E. Honestly.
It's up there, isn't it?
Like Bird has done some beautiful little darts. I'm thinking on Jean-Eric Verne in Hong Kong, stuff like that. But a little slice between two, laid on the brakes, round the outside. Doesn't get much better, honestly. Oh, and we got another shot of it. Fantastic.
Why not? Yeah, this will be a good angle.
Every time I watch it, I don't think it's going to work.
We know it's going to work, but it just is so close. The closing speed is incredible.
There's Alex Lynn back in the Mahindra garage. Safety car in this lap. The lights are out on the BMW safety car. The Mercedes of Nyck de Vries will be getting the race back underway.
On the exit of turn 19 is the safety car line. That's where he's going to go. On the exit of turn 19, he's gone already.
He's gone now. So Nyck de Vries gets the racing back underway. Through the chicane they come, up towards the final corner. Safety car in Diriyah. Nyck de Vries leads the way for the Mercedes team. We've got 14 minutes plus 1 lap to go. He's just ahead of Rene Rast in second place. Eduardo Mortara for Venturi is third. Fourth is Mitch Evans. Fifth is Pascal Wehrlein. Sixth is Max Gunter. Roland has climbed up into 7th position now. Evans and Gunter still have 2 attack modes remaining. Alexander Sims has no attack modes remaining. Everybody else has 1 remaining. As they come down, the bobsleigh run in the desert, down to the bottom of the hill. What is going to unfold in the second half of this race? Alongside me, Dario Franchitti.
And we haven't really talked about fan boost.
That's true.
I mean, that's going to make a big difference too. That's a huge amount of power. That's 25% extra power. So when you choose to use it, and you get energy to use it with too. I mean, that could have a massive effect on the race.
Sam Bird was thinking about coming in to change tyres. Oh, I think he has come in to change tyres. Yes, he has. So Sam Bird has come in, changed tyres, but a bit too late, really. Well, not that he was to know, but the safety car came in, so he's now a long way adrift of the rest of the field. But there is De Vries. Now, he's rocketed away in the early laps behind the safety car, 1.7 seconds clear of Rene Rast. He was a second quicker on that first lap, back at full racing speed. Aggressive.
Absolutely, but how much energy did he use trying to do that? If he hasn't used any, the others are in trouble. Maybe that car is just so good on low tyre pressures. Mitch Evans looks like he's using a bit more road in the Jaguar. Ahead of you, the number 20, he's using a bit more road. That means the car is probably not handling as he would like in these early laps after the safety car.
You can see the positions gained. Lucas de Grassi's made 7 places. He's up into 9th place. He has made 15 places over the last 3 races in Diriyah, and he's banged out another 7 so far. We're on driver's eye with Maximilian Gunter in the BMW I Andretti, 6th place at the moment.
Looking down, making adjustments on the different rotaries and switches on the wheel, looking back up and trying to race at the same time. Lift, coast. There wasn't much lifting or coasting there. He was regenerated into the corner, but normally you would expect him to lift halfway down the straight.
De Vries took attack mode. De Vries takes his second attack mode. That means Rast is right up behind him. That will be why he sprinted away at the front. Probably used a lot of energy to get the gap and to get the attack mode done. Interesting.
And at this point, with that extra power that he's got, he can afford to be better. Oh, big hit from Gunter. Massive hit.
Gunter in the wall, out of the E-Prix, and De Vries has just activated his attack mode. That could scupper him, because this might be another safety car. Gunter dropping down the order. Rast second, Mortara third, Evans fourth, Wehrlein now up into 5th place.
Did Max Gunter get on the marbles? That was a massive hit. It didn't even look like he was going to make the corner, and pounded the wall on the outside.
There's a look at the usable energy remaining. Wehrlein's still in trouble. That's Roger Griffiths' frustrated face, because one of his drivers is out. The other, Jake Dennis, is in 14th position. But surely we're going to be having another safety car for that, you would have thought. Across the line they come with 11 minutes plus a lap to go. De Vries has used his attack mode. Gunter has said he's okay on the radio, so that's good to hear. And there goes Rast now. Well, he only loses out to Mortara because as the safety car is deployed, tactical stuff, but also Mortara now is ahead of Rast and has used 2 attack modes. We'll see how this pans out. They'll all squeeze back up again behind the safety car.
Yeah, at some point Mortara's got to use that second attack mode. That's when Rene Rast can get track position on him again and then try and take the fight to Nyck de Vries for the win of the E-Prix.
Now, I didn't actually see, there's Sam Bird back in the garage, a little tap on the back from James Barclay. I think Sam Bird's still blaming Alex Lynn for that one. You can see the frustration. There's Gunter in the wall. I'll be honest, I was looking at the timing screen. No idea what happened.
It was a big hit, Jack. Wait till you see the replay. It wasn't one of those subtle brushes. It looked like... Yeah, here we go.
So he's coming through 1.
Into 2. He touches the outside wall. Oh, he touches the apex wall.
Yeah.
And wow, that was a hard hit. The problem is, the closer you get to that apex wall, he moved the wall. He actually moved the wall back. The closer you get to the apex wall, the more grip there is. But if you just kiss it, it's very difficult with the Formula E car with these covers over the front wheels to position the car accurately. You see the result, but he moved the wall. That is a massive hit.
Yeah. So Gunter out of the race. Roger Griffiths, as I say, his driver down in 14th place now. Jake Dennis. There's the energy remaining. Gunter will be getting out of the car before too long. He's very close to an access point, so hopefully shouldn't be too long till we're racing again. Look at that. Look at that.
It's a great visual, isn't it?
Sides, and then just a little bit south of here is the capital city of Riyadh. Diriyah was the original capital city of the first Saudi state, which was formed in 1744, and it became one of the biggest cities in Arabia. There is Rene Rast in 3rd position. Diriyah fell, in case you were wondering, in 1818 after succumbing to a year-long siege during the Ottoman-Saudi War, and then it was ordered to be destroyed. And then when the Saudis came back to power, everybody had sort of moved south a little to Riyadh, and that's why the capital was formed there in the early part of the 20th century, and that's why this is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, because of the ruins of Diriyah. 8 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Nyck de Vries leading. There's Alan McNish. 3rd at the moment for his driver Rene Rast. Lucas de Grassi's up into 8th position as it stands. Rast lost track position to Mortara, but Mortara's got to use an attack mode in the closing stages.
I think it was a great tactical move by Rene Rast. I really do. I think because, as I say, at some point Mortara is going to have to use that attack mode, and Rast, if he can stay close to him, will get the track position back. The question is how much of a gap can De Vries open up in those early seconds after the safety car goes in, because that's appeared to be his strength this evening so far.
7.5 minutes plus a lap to go. There's Nyck de Vries leading the way. 7 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Hopefully the safety car will be coming in a couple of moments' time. So there's the top 5. Nyck de Vries leading the way, Mortara second, Rast third, Evans fourth, fifth is Pascal Wehrlein. Nyck de Vries has used both of his attack modes. Eduardo Mortara still has one to use, as does Evans, as does Wehrlein. So at some point they've got to use 4 minutes of extra power, and it's the old playoff with attack modes. You get to use it twice, you get extra power, but you lose time activating it.
And you use extra energy that you might not have, because as we're sitting here just now, they're not saving energy behind the safety car. It's taking it away. For every minute they take away 1%, or sorry, 1 kilowatt hour for every minute. And there's no chance to regenerate. So this is putting the haves and the have-nots with energy in a bigger spread, a bigger hole.
Early 19th century that Riyadh became the capital. My apologies, I think I said early 20th century, but it was 1824 on the formation of the second Saudi state that Riyadh became the capital initially anyway, and then it went away a little bit, but that's a little bit too much history for a Formula E race. 6 minutes plus 1 lap to go. The safety car coming in now, and Nyck de Vries will decide when he floors it and gets the racing back underway. He went very early last time.
He did, and Mortara won't fall for that twice. Mortara is a very aggressive driver, as we saw with that move earlier. So here we go. Mortara's left a bit of a gap, though.
When's he going to gain? Mortara's left quite a lot of a gap, hasn't he? Hoping to react, I presume, to whenever de Vries decides to floor it, which he does now. Almost on the brakes is when he accelerates, isn't it? Nick Cassidy weaving out towards the back. Here they come then, down towards the final corner at turn 21. 5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. You have to have used all of your attack modes by the end of the E-Prix, so it's pretty much this lap or the next is when you've got to be activating attack mode, or you're going to run out of time to use the extra power. So Mortara, Evans, Wehrlein have all been kind of boxed into a bit of a corner here.
Yeah, absolutely, and Mortara's only option is when he does get attack mode, he's going to use that extra power to then repass Rene. Rast is going to pass him as he activates it, so it's all to play for. Mitch Evans, a little scrappy down the hill in this lap so far. It's not flowing yet. Oh, he hit the curb hard. Did he catch the higher curb though with the front bodywork of the car?
An additional energy reduction for that time under the safety car. 4.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Nyck de Vries has been leading this race since the start. He's had 2 safety cars to contend with. He's had attacks from Rene Rast to contend with. He's now got Mortara behind him, but the young Dutchman is still holding on at the front in the 17 silver Mercedes. Catches the...
See Mortara, does he go for it, Jack? Sorry.
Catches the front brake a little. Mortara does activate attack mode, as does Mitch Evans behind. So Rast is up into second place, but can Mortara get back through while he's in attack mode? This is going to be a really good opportunity for Mortara to get back into second place.
Can he do it into turn 1? We've seen it's a tricky pass. No, now he's going to wait, I would say, all the way back to turn 18, where the attack mode activation zone is pretty much. So he's wasting away a little bit, all that extra. Oh, look at this, how sideways Mortara got down the hill. Sorry, Rast got down the hill.
The view on board looking back at Rast as we plunge down the bobsleigh run. Wehrlein has activated his, has dropped down to 5th place. 3.5 minutes plus a lap to go. And there you see Roland, de Grassi, Van Dorn, Servi, Buemi, Nato, da Costa, all have activated their second attack mode as well, as they had to do. So everybody's attack mode is activated. Now you've just got the 4 minutes to go, as you can see on the tower on the left-hand side. This is Mortara's opportunity, and he ain't afraid to overtake tonight.
No, absolutely not. This is where he's going to make it happen. He's got all that extra power. Here he comes. How defensive is Rast going to be? Doesn't even fight it. He wants to keep the gap to Mitch Evans. Mortara hangs him out to the outside.
Mortara up into second position. Really strong drive this from Eduardo Mortara. Mitch Evans is going to be closing in on Rene Rast now as well. And Mortara has 1 win in his Formula E career, 1 second place as well. Both came under Hong Kong. Mortara and Rast under investigation for overtaking under safety car.
What did they overtake?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, Mortara is also got a Mercedes powertrain in the Venturi. 2.8 seconds behind. How hard is he going to push it? Knowing Edo Mortara, I'd say he's going to push it pretty hard.
Yeah, we'll see whether he can close in on Nyck de Vries. Evans is not in attack mode, I don't believe. So
he's used both.
He's used both. So the halo flashing on the top of Mitch Evans' car is incorrect at the moment, we believe. but we'll keep an eye on that one. Now, Mortara has got past Rast, but will he be able to pull away, or will he just sit there basically conserving energy? Because De Vries, again, 3 seconds up the road. It's these hits on the restart that De Vries is able to just build a gap. He did it at the start of the race. He's done it at both safety car restarts as well. Here comes Mitch Evans attacking Rast. Rast tries to cover him, but Evans gets the inside, and the Jaguars up into 3rd place. But can Rast fight back in the Audi?
And you heard there was a sort of high-pitched stutter from the Jaguar as he started to lock the rear tyres. I don't think that was part of Rene Rast's plan. He seemed okay with Mortara passing him. He defended a lot harder when Mitch Evans came along.
Here they come down towards turn 1. 1.5 minutes plus a lap to go. And Nyck de Vries is leading the way in a dominant performance for the Mercedes-Benz EQ team, but that's all going to change tomorrow. He'll be out in the first group of qualifying. He'll have the worst track in qualifying tomorrow, so he's going to have his work cut out to try and get back up the order.
He hasn't won it yet, Jack.
No, that's true. Mortara and De Vries pretty much matched in the first sector. There is Nyck de Vries, the Formula 2 champion of 2019.
And his teammate Stoffel van Dorn currently running in P8, which would put him in Group 2 for tomorrow if things finish this way.
There's good climbing from Van Dorn. Started 15th, got up into 8th place. As we mentioned before, De Grassi started 16th and has got up into 9th place. So those two pretty much with similar climbs up the order. And Van Dorn is using his fan boost. And there's also a fight between Roland and Sims. Van Dorn is a little bit too far back from that pack to really fight with the fan boost, as Nyck de Vries comes across the line to start his penultimate lap of the race. 2nd is Mortara, 3rd is Evans, 4th is Rast, 5th then is Wehrlein. He's just in front of Roland and Sims, and then fastest lap of the race set by Stoffel van Dorn. That's Lucas de Grassi in 9th place. Oliver Turvey in 10th position there. Great performance from Turvey. Neo 333 didn't score any points throughout the whole of last year. Turvey at the moment heading for a solitary 1, but that is better than nothing. Now, this is the fight. Oliver Roland, right on the back of Pascal Wehrlein. They plunged down the hill. The gap between them at the line was not much at all, just 0.3 of a second, but you don't need me to tell you that. They're right together. It's the fight over 5th place. That's Ollie Roland behind.
Yeah, and Oliver Roland, one of the most aggressive drivers in Formula E. And as he comes up, now this is his chance. He's going to turn 16, and then the second apex is turn 17. This starts the long straight up the hill. At the end of this is the heavy braking zone 18. Let's see if he can make a move.
Rast is very good on energy. He's got a lot of energy, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And here's the attack from Oliver Roland to the outside, coming into the chicane. Can he hang it on the inside? Wehrlein comes across, makes the move. Alexander Sims in the black and white and the red, white and blue Mahindra thinks I'll have some of that. Nyck de Vries in the Mercedes starts the final lap of the first E-Prix of the season. Rast has so much energy. Is he going for a last lap attack on Mitch Evans? This, meanwhile, is Roland and Sims. Sims to the outside, side by side into turn 1. Gets it done. Stoffel van Dorn in the second Mercedes is now joining that fight as well as they start the plunge down the bobsleigh run. Nyck de Vries, though, down to 2% usable energy on this final lap, but he's got a 4-second lead over Eduardo Mortara up at the front. I think the 3rd place battle is the one. Rast, I think, is sitting in behind Mitch Evans and just waiting for the moment to come. Here's Nyck de Vries' radio.
Okay, Nick, Mortara, 4.2 seconds behind. You're on your final lap. Remember the final corner, lifting at 0.6.
And that is the message you want to hear. You're 4 seconds clear of Mortara in 2nd. Here now is Evans in 3rd. Rast has got more energy. Is he going to go for it for 3rd place up into the chicane on the final lap? He's quite far back. Evans covers. Rast goes one way, goes the other. He's trying to force Evans to use more energy, but look how much Rast has. I don't think that's right, but it doesn't matter. For the race win, Nyck de Vries through the final corner wins the first race of the Formula E World Championship. 2nd across the line is Eduardo Mortara. 3rd is Mitch Evans. 4th is Rene Rast. 5th is Wehrlein, and Roland is 6th. Sims is 7th, Van Dorn 8th, De Grassi 9th, and there is a point for Oliver Turvey in 10th place. There's a crash with Buemi at the line. He collides with one of the drivers there. Da Costa is involved in some of the carnage too towards the back. But a first win in Formula E for Nyck de Vries, a 2nd win in Formula E for the Mercedes-Benz EQ team, and there is the delight for Ian James, the team principal of the Mercedes-Benz EQ team. Absolute delight. That's 2 wins in a row for them. This is Nyck de Vries
Guys,
Radio.
thank you very much. It's been a great weekend so far. I know we have another day today, but just wanted to thank you all for all the hard work.
What an ominous clean sweep for Nyck de Vries. Fastest in free practice 1, fastest in free practice 2, and then pole position, fastest in group qualifying. Now the winner of the E-Prix. Superb drive from Nyck de Vries. So this is how the points are at the end of the first race. Nyck de Vries, full house, 29 points. That leaves him comfortably clear of Eduardo Mortara in second. Of course, the points after the opening race are the same as the finishing positions. Actually, it's not a full house for de Vries. I take that back. Stoffel van Dorn set the tag Oyer fastest lap. So Van Dorn will get a point there. So clean sweep for Mercedes, in a way, even though they didn't finish 1-2. But de Vries leads the championship going into race 2 tomorrow. But this means that the top 6 in the championship will all be out in Group 1. Mercedes EQ at the top of the championship. Rocket Venturi Racing in second place. Jaguar in third. Audi Sportap Schaeffler in fourth. And 1 point for Neo 333. I know it doesn't really mean a lot, but I think that will be a big boost to the team who endured a very, very tough year in season 6.
Welcome to the podium ceremony for the first round of the 2020-21 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship in Diriyah. Thank you to everyone who has made Season 7 opening possible, and especially to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Ministry of Sports, and the Diriyah Gate Development Authority. Let's begin the celebrations by awarding our winners. Firstly, please welcome to the stage Pierre Godoff, Chief Engineer, representing our winning team, Mercedes EQ Formula E team.
Superb performance from Mercedes, 2 wins in a row. The winning team in the first race in Diriyah.
In third place, Mitch Evans from Jaguar Racing.
Another podium then for Mitch Evans at the Jaguar team. A good start to the season. That's his 7th Formula E podium. And he climbs onto the third step.
Next in second place, Eduardo Mortara from Rocket Venturi Racing.
Huge cheer for Eduardo Mortara from the Rocket Venturi Racing team. Climbs up onto the second step. That is his 4th podium of his Formula E career. Another second place.
And now our winner, Nyck de Vries
But
from Mercedes EQ Formula E team.
A first Formula E win for Nyck de Vries. The Dutchman onto the top step. Top of the championship.
The national anthem of the winning driver from the Netherlands. And next, the national anthem of the winning team from Germany. Congratulations to all our winners. Our trophy presenters would like to congratulate you. Yasser Al-Rumayyan, His Excellency, the Governor of the Public Investment Fund, celebrating with Pierre Godot, team representative of Mercedes EQ Formula E team. Pierre, please lift your trophy. Jerry Inzerillo, CEO of Diriyah Gate Development Authority, congratulating third place Mitch Evans from Jaguar Racing. Mitch, please lift your trophy. Carlo Butaghi, promoter of the Diriyah E-Prix, celebrating with second place. Eduardo Mortara from Rocket Venturi Racing. Eduardo, please lift your trophy. His Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Sultan Abdallah Al Faisal, Chairman of the Saudi Automobile and Motorcycle Federation, congratulating our winner, Nyck de Vries from Mercedes EQ Formula E team. Nyck, please lift your trophy. Drivers, it's time for the famous Formula E Podium Selfie that will be shared across social media. Please turn around and look at the top left corner of the stage and pose with your trophies.
Nyck, this way. There we go.
To your left. And now it's time to celebrate!
Superb performance from Nyck de Vries. Mercedes EQ really looking strong ahead of this new Formula E World Championship season. But let me give you a little fact. Once in the 6 seasons of Formula E has the driver who won the first race gone on to win the championship. Once. That was Sebastian Buemi in season 2. And so I'm hugely congratulatory of Nyck de Vries and for Mercedes EQ. But only once in Formula E history has the winner of the first race gone on to win the championship. We've got a long way to go this year. We've got a race tomorrow. We got a race in Rome in April. The calendar continues. We don't know where the calendar's going to end yet. So there is no need to count any chickens, and you can guarantee Mercedes will not be counting those chickens as they win the first ever night race in Formula E and the first ever race as a world championship. And we go green under the lights. It's 3 wide as they come down into the corner. Lovely move. Ooh. Sandberg goes to the inside, Lim puts him in the wall. Evans gets the inside and the Jaguars up into 3rd place. Nyck de Vries through the final corner wins the first race of the Formula E World Championship.